Hey guys, what's up? It's Brad with the Brofessional Development. And today there's just three of us here. We got Bobby and Sal, and we're going to shoot the shit for a little bit. But before we dive into it, if you guys could just take the 30 seconds, go write us a review, give us the 5 stars. It's all we're asking. We don't run ads, which we could be running multiple ads during every single podcast.
We've been asked by a lot of people.
Yeah. So
the answer's no.
Yeah. So we're doing this for you. So, no, but seriously, guys, what you guys got going on right now?
So, not much going on as far as just work stuff. Just been crazy. I have some random things that I have to shoot the shit about, but I don't know if you guys have anything else going on before I jump into that.
I mean, I'm just busy with work and volleyball. Nothing too serious.
I just had a random one. I literally heard this. What was I listening to this morning? Oh, I was listening to 101 ESPN, and the creator of the GIF or GIF image, however you say. Also, that's probably another topic for discussion. How the fuck are you supposed to say that? But the creator of the GIF image died at age 74 on March 14th, this past March 14th. Do you guys know how long GIFs have been around?
I saw this as well, but I something stupid. Is it like 50 years or something crazy?
So not that long, but 1987 is when the original GIF image format came out, and I feel like I've only known about those for the past, less than 10 years for sure. I feel like I haven't known about him for that long, but whenever I saw that and how old he was, I was like, what the fuck? And I realized it was 2 years before I was born. So I thought that was interesting.
That is a crazy one, especially to think like who even sent a GIF in 1985.
Right.
So,
how did they even do that?
Yeah.
I have no idea. But that was just a random thing that I had. What about you? What you got going on, Brad?
Well, I mean, I think we literally have to address like the biggest news of the week, which probably everybody else in the podcast world has talked about, is Will Smith and Chris Rock. Chris Rock makes probably like one of the tamest jokes in history in all reality of where it could land on like the scale of like appropriate and inappropriate. And Will Smith gets up and just boom right across the face of old Chris Rock. So when I first saw it, I was like, that was fake, 100% fake. And then the more you start looking at it, and like Chris Rock is like later on in the show, just sitting there like, like it's totally awkward.
Concussion protocol has entered the chat.
Yeah. So I thought it was obviously it's huge news. What did you guys think about it? Because I saw David Spade said, he's like, people are like, well, why would he make a joke like that? Like they know that, Jada Pinkett Smith has alopecia or whatever, which I made sure was not like a terminal illness, and it's not. So I feel like I can be a little bit of an asshole about it. But to me, I was like, these comedians nowadays are just fucking screwed. Like, you can't even make a G.I. Jane joke about her. And I think they, like, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett basically have, like, an open relationship where she just gets railed by whoever she wants.
She's fucking other dudes.
Yeah.
She was fucking other dudes before Will Smith even knew that she was fucking other dudes. And then Will Smith was like, all right, cool. Well, I guess we'll stay together. I don't know what the point is, but...
The thing that annoys me the most is, like, if you look at the video clip, Will Smith was actually cracking up.
Yeah. He was laughing.
And then Jada Pinkett Smith just gives him the death stare. He's like, fuck, now I gotta go slap someone, like,
which
to redeem himself. But
talk about a total cuck move, right?
I've seen a lot of stuff on it, and I actually have a quote from Chris Rock after the fact, so my initial thoughts on it, and I wrote this down too, because I was like, I figured we'd be talking about this. As far as the reaction goes, like Sal said, like he was laughing. They scanned to Jada. Jada looks pissed off. Next thing you know, Will Smith's going up to Chris Rock and just whacks him. So for me, I'm like, well, okay, all right. He was defending his wife who's fucking other dudes.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with the response that Will Smith had.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for defending someone, but it was a joke. You're at a show where, and the best way that I saw it put was, you're at a show that is literally all about further glorifying all these fucking people that already make insane amounts of money so they can add hardware to just be even more famous. So they're going to take shots at each other. And it's Chris fucking Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Like one of the funniest dudes ever. So I think it was an overreaction by Will.
So I have a theory.
Okay.
Okay. And I actually haven't seen this one pop up yet, which to me absolutely blows my mind. And I think Chris Rock was fucking her. Like, how has nobody even thought about this yet? And
That's a great point.
I think he made a joke. Maybe he didn't do it right. And
he
she was
bit
a little
his
upset
tongue.
about
If
that.
you saw one like later on in the clips, he was just like, "Ooh, I could," but he held back. Props to Chris Rock on that because he could have.
After he was smacked?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
'Cause
just like trying to think about it. He's like, "Ooh,
he's like, ooh, okay. Like that part after he got smacked? Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean,
Could
that
happen.
was my one theory. And then there's been a lot of people who spoke out about it. Like I think it was Oprah Winfrey. Or no, it wasn't Oprah. Who's the chick? Was it Whoopi that said that he should be barred from the Academy? Jim Carrey basically is totally appalled by it. And my favorite one is Ricky
Appalled by the joke or appalled by the
appalled
action?
by Will Smith's actions.
Okay.
Yeah. And my favorite one was Ricky Gervais. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
From the creator of The Office, basically. Basically, like just
Ricky Gervais.
Gervais.
Get it
So
right, bro.
Gervais?
He's a
Gervais.
legend.
This
Yes.
is Missouri. We say Versailles.
Yeah.
Like,
So he basically was like, you know, he said that the reason he could never be on that awards show is because they wouldn't allow him to write his own jokes and say whatever he wanted. And that's something I brought up with my wife. I'm like, who knows if Chris Rock even wrote that joke, first of all? And then, do you know how many people probably read that joke before the show started and was like, that's fucking funny? And like, that doesn't cross the lines at all. So to me, it's just pretty wild.
Well, so there's been some TikToks with individuals that have alopecia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And they even said that.
Well,
like,
I don't know. Ask Rich if that's a proper
that is right.
pronunciation.
That is right.
well, yeah. So like even they were going on TikTok. They were like,
I thought you were
that
making a
joke was
ball
pretty
joke
funny.
for a
Like,
second.
But yeah, so they were saying that like that joke is like completely normal compared to like other jokes that they heard.
Right.
So they thought it was kind of stupid for them to be like super pissed off about it. But
Right. And Brad, like you said too, it's not like she has if she was going through chemotherapy or something like that, obviously something that you
Tread
don't
lightly.
touch.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I know people that have alopecia and like, I've never heard anyone make jokes at each other's expense, but it's like G.I. Jane too. Like Demi Moore was a fucking dime in G.I. Jane. And it's like Jada Pinkett, she was rocking it, man. So I don't know. I think Will Smith overreacted completely. But maybe, like you said, maybe Chris Rock just didn't fuck her right.
Yeah,
and she was pissed.
Yeah, so that's my theory on that one.
what did you guys think about Ricky Gervais? he brought about the comment about how like Oscars they provided goodie bags for each celebrity,
saw that,
and
yeah.
it was like $140,000 per bag.
Yeah.
Weird. I did not see that.
Yeah, and he was like blasting on how like, oh, celebrities are like able to do like receive these bags, but they cannot take this money and go put it into like charity for
Yeah.
like people that's dealing with Ukraine war and the Russian war.
Yeah.
He like blasted them about it.
Yeah, I saw that in the same article, basically saying, you know, like here's all these celebrities trying to like take a stand for something, and then the bag that they have is worth more than what most people make in an entire year. So
That's
I thought
insane.
that was interesting. To kind of move forward from this, let's go into the sports world a little bit. Did you guys see that our former president of the United States hit a hole-in-one the other day?
I did not see that. Who was that? Was it Trump?
It was Trump.
I didn't
yeah.
see that. No.
Yeah, so Trump hit
that
a
didn't come across
hole-in-one.
on the E ESPN bottom line. That's where I get my news from.
Yeah, he hit a hole-in-one with, he was playing with Ernie Els and a couple other former, like pro golfers. And he issued a statement on it. And just like to get an idea of what he said, which now, of course, I can't find it. Okay, so the statement from Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States. He basically said, it was a 5-iron from 181 yards, which sailed magnificently into a rather strong wind with approximately 5 feet of cut. It bounced a couple of times and a clank. So I thought it was just hilarious. Like, I mean, you guys know I'm like a Trump fan and all. So to see that like he issued a statement about hitting a hole-in-one though was like kind of next level.
That is
Flex.
for sure. And that is 100% on par with everything that is Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome that he did that though.
Yeah. But it's sticking with golf. Tiger Woods has shown up at Augusta. I mean, obviously, I'm not deep in the golf world. I know Bobby and Dan are the golfers of the group here. What do you think? Is he gonna make a comeback? Is he gonna play or what?
Dude, I really hope that he does, because they had that tracker that was like a jet that is registered in Tiger Woods' name is traveling to Augusta, Georgia, and everyone was just freaking creaming their pants. And then, he came out. He played around with JT and his son out there at Augusta and at the Masters, and he. Apparently, they don't know if he walked that. They don't know how much he was riding.
I didn't think about that.
Because with golf, the rule is you have to walk. Like there's no rule for anything like that. And Tiger has been very specific about saying, because that golf would change the game for Tiger. Like PGA Tour would make an exemption like that, but he doesn't want, or an exception. And he has said that he doesn't want something like that. So I was listening to 101 ESPN this morning about it, and they were speculating on everything. And I'd love to see him play. I'd be shocked. I don't know if he'd be able to walk for 72 holes, man. And you're thinking like those courses are. I mean, you got 7,200 yards. I don't know if Sal can do some math for me and figure out how many miles that would be him walking and then playing over the course of 4 days. But I think he will come back. I think that he will win a tournament. I pray that that's a major. It'd be amazing to see him at the Masters here in a couple weekends, but I don't know if it'll happen.
Well, what I think's like actually super interesting about it is like I feel like he's the type of guy, and I know he's kind of had a comeback once already.
So he's 3 to 6 miles.
Okay, so that's actually not that bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah. So, but I feel like he won't come back until he thinks that he can be like competitive and actually have a shot at winning. Because isn't there like some crazy odds in Vegas for if he wins another event? Like it's pretty substantial. Like, yeah. So, I know there's a lot of people that probably took that bet for sure. Because, and I mean, he's like, we've talked about this before. He's like literally one of the greatest athletes of all time. Like he's withstood like the time trials of like he's always been there generation through generation and still been competitive. So it'd be nice to see him go out like on his own terms and win another one
for sure. And he wants to get another one, right? He's chasing Jack. He's chasing the record for total wins. And Sal,
didn't he like change it? Like he won the Masters, then he changed his swing up and then won it again, right?
So he won it, I think it was back in 19. I don't know. You'd have to look and see when he won last, but I know that he did make some changes. But so he's a pretty big like golf historian nut. And this is what they were talking about on 101. This is not like me doing research prior to this, but just listening. And so Ben Hogan, he came back from a bad car accident whenever he got hurt in a really, really bad car accident. They didn't think he'd ever play again. Ben Hogan came back and he ended up winning another major and he probably won a couple more tournaments. So Tiger's probably thinking, all right, let's let history repeat itself. I'm going to go out and do the same fucking thing. And Tiger was he could have been dead from that accident. He could have lost that leg. So it's pretty miraculous that he's even out there playing golf in the first place. So it's just fun to see him play. I hope we get to see him play again.
And worst comes to worst, maybe he'll give Jada Pinkett a call.
Let's tag them on that.
I love it. So my last sports thing for the day, I actually don't have too much business stuff on here today just because I didn't see anything that was like super interesting. But we talked about this a little bit through our text thread. But for all the St. Louis people out there, probably the majority of our listeners, Albert Pujols has signed a 1-year deal with the Cardinals to come back to basically end his career here as a Cardinal. I told you guys how I felt. Like I think it's cool he's coming back. Don't get me wrong. Like I think it's cool that like, him, Wainwright, Molina, they're all going to sail off into the sunset together. The part about it that I just hate is that like he chose to leave for money. And like I'm weird. Like I say that, like, I think like in business, like a lot of employees would be smart to like not be loyal. But like, I think sports is different, maybe because they're just getting paid millions and millions of dollars. And like Albert could have been a franchise player that never played for anybody other than the Cardinals and had the statue out front, which I'm sure he's still going to get. He's still going to get the number retired, but it's just like a different vibe. And that's like the same way I felt about Petrangelo when he left the Blues, the same way with Backus. Like these guys that leave for, $500,000, $1 million, whatever it may be, I hope they never fucking win another Stanley Cup. I hope they never win another World Series. And I hope they regret ever leaving. And I know there's like a lot of like moving parts to like keep players, so many good players together that like salary cap wise, it wouldn't have happened. Somebody would have left. Molina would have left. Wainwright would have left. Whatever. But it is cool that he's coming back. So we'll see how the year plays out.
Yeah, dude, I'm pumped about it. I mean, Albert Pujols was like all of us grew up right around the same time, kind of like our childhood, the baseball player that we grew up with, right? Like we got to see Mark McGwire, right? And he finished out, I think, in like, I don't know what the year was that he retired from, or that he left the Cardinals, because I think his last season was with the Cardinals. I don't know if he went somewhere after that, but either way, like we pretty much grew up with it. That was whenever we were all old enough to like really understand what was going on with baseball. And whenever I found out about it, I was listening to, I listen to 101 ESPN every morning. So, what's his name was talking about Randy Carricker, and he was literally talking about Albert coming back and being involved in charities, and Randy Carricker is literally like choking over his words, like emotional about it, which was really cool. Baseball means so much to St. Louis. Hockey, the Blues means so much to St. Louis for sure. We could carry a freaking franchise in the NFL and the NBA. I have no doubt about it. But with Albert, one of the things is like expectations. So what's the expectation with this? And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, like I really don't care how we do. I just want to see him hit number 700." Fuck that, dude. I want to see us. The expectations are high. Ali Marmol is like saying that it's World Series or bust, and you got to think it's the same way in the minds for Albert Pujols. For like, and you talk about like Albert leaving was probably one of the best things that could have happened to the Cardinals, because we went and picked up Beltran. In 2012 we made it back to the NLCS. 2013 we made it to the World Series, lost to the Red Sox. 14 we made it to the NLCS, and we just kept on running into the buzzsaw of the Giants. So I don't know. I think if they don't make the championship series this year, it would be a complete bust. You have Albert basically being a leader in the locker room. You have people like Paul DeYoung, who needs to get his head out of his ass, and you have a lot of young talent that can benefit from hearing from Albert in the clubhouse. So I hope that that's where he makes his biggest impact, is not necessarily on the stat sheet, but on the stat sheet and the other players in the organization. Sal, what do you think about it?
I think it's a good move. From like a marketing perspective.
Oh yeah, they're gonna put some butts in those seats.
Jerseys. Like opening day right now, tickets went up from like $50 to like over 100. But it's a win now for them. Like it'll be awesome to see them win it all, and then they all retire happily.
That'd be amazing.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just happy because he was one of my favorite players growing up. So to see him back, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But,
so you guys got anything else?
The big things that I had were the GIFs and Will Smith. I don't think, Sal, did you have any other sports news that were happening? I know you sent over a few articles.
Lakers are currently out of the play-in.
Let's go Pels.
Yeah, I don't want the Pelicans to win. Sorry.
Well, I do. It's because now I'm a fake Pelicans fan.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, so they literally have to win out, because right now they have, in terms of tiebreaker, Pelicans have a game on them, and so does the Spurs. So they literally have to win out to get into the playoffs.
Michael Jordan would have never let this happen.
True. Very true. Other than that, NFL announced a new diversity committee, which will be interesting. They haven't really done anything. They just they added some changes to the Rooney Rule, where now each team has to interview women too.
I didn't see that.
Coaching, so they don't have to necessarily hire them. They just have to interview them.
And there has to be a minority coach on the offensive staff, right?
As an assistant, yeah.
As an assistant.
Which should be interesting. It should help. I don't know how that will change the whole court case with Brian Flores, but
yeah, I don't know. It's all interesting to me. I'm not really sure how that stuff works, but it's unfortunate that something like that has to exist. It's like, are they doing this because are they being like pegged as being like racist and not hiring minority coaches, or are the best coaches like just happen to be white dudes? I don't know.
Well, and that's the part that I think is just so wrong. Like, could you imagine walking into your business and being like, oh, you have to hire, one of these people, whatever they may be, a woman or African American or whatever, but they are clearly not the right person for the job. I just think that's the part of it that's bullshit. And the thing about the women is I'm already I don't know how long it's going to take for the first sexual harassment case to come out, but it's going to happen. And
it's only a matter of time. Yeah, that stuff's bizarre to me. I don't really understand it, but yeah, hopefully, I don't know. I think with something like this, it's just you're trying to do things to appease certain people, and I think it's kind of the culture that we live in now. And like, shoot, man, like I'll hire people from all different backgrounds because they can get to different target markets for me. Whereas, like I just hired a guy who's Bosnian, and we have the second largest Bosnian population, second only to Bosnia. We are literally known to the Bosnian community as Little Bosnia.
Yeah.
And that's a whole market that we can't get to,
Yeah.
you know, and there's certain people that will work better with other folks. Whereas in the NFL, it's like, okay, why are you forcing them to hire certain backgrounds? I don't know. It's kind of bizarre to me, but I don't agree with it. I think it's good. I think we need more coaches that are minority. Like, don't get me wrong, but if they're not the right person for the job, they shouldn't be forced to hire someone.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's what most I got today as far as my shoot the shit topics.
That's everything I got too. So we'll call it a day, boys.
Sweet.
Deuces.